the angelic realm is complex, but I want to explain it in the following manner. All energy, this is a spiritual concept, Spirituality 101. All of life is an expression of energy. All energy is an expression of light. All light resonates. Light that's splintered resonates in various different modes of resonance, forming a facsimile to what would be colors in waves. Here's the key. All energy has intelligence. I'll say it again. All energy has intelligence. When we talk about angels or the angelic realm, what we are talking about is the intelligence behind the energy. And all of life is a manifestation of energies. And thereby, all of life is comprised by the formulation and cooperation of energies. And all of these energies have intelligence. And just because you can't communicate with them doesn't mean they're not intelligent. And so what I tell you is that these energies that are intelligent, many of them begin very, very, very simple and innocent and naive. And they're not allowed to go into a free will construct. And when they enter the free will construct, so there'll be a rock or a tree, and they'll learn their lesson slowly and work their way up. And so the individual that's born in a city, they didn't start off in a city. They worked their way up. They had to first master concepts of trust, loyalty, before they could take on the higher resonances, the more difficult challenges, in order to climb that ladder of forgiveness. And the one on top, which is the higher love. To master the higher love, you actually have to love in the face of oppression. That's a really, really rough resonance for an innocent energy to have to partake in. But I mentioned previously that all of creation is co-creation. All that we do is partnering with resonances in co-creation. It's collaborative in nature. And so all energy has intelligence. And what the great mystics always understood and knew is that when they were aligned with higher resonances, and they were aligned with the Song of Eternity, they were able to interact and communicate with the angels, the energy that was comprised of all objects and all things. And the human being is a very advanced angel that's in a free will construct, and in this free will construct they have tremendous energy, tremendous power of action. Their actions are consequential. They make a difference. They're poignant because they're done in freedom. And what the human being, the angel within, resonates within the physical plane is constantly imparting to the resonances and energies around them the language of resonance. And so when the human being is resonating in baser energies, it imparts to all the naive energies around them the language of baser resonance. And when the human being is resonating in alignment of a higher love, it teaches the language to the more naive energies. Never enter into free will construct. It teaches them that language. So therefore, an individual, let's say, who wears clothing one day, and the mystics know this, and they wear these clothes, and they're resonating really baser frequencies of spite and revenge and anger, and then they wear that clothing another day, well, a spiritually sensitive individual will be able to sense in that clothing death and decay, the inertia. Any individual wearing that clothing would be confronting in their daily activity. They're at a disadvantage. This clothing need to be, the resonances need to be raised, it needs to be purified. It's inertia. Because the angels were taught. They are aligned and partnered with you, and they were taught the frequency that you taught them. And so the mystic understands that at all times I am interacting and co-creating, and I'm creating like a posse of co-creation to help me on my journey. And my job is to impart to them the language so I have the momentum to meet any challenge with grace that I enter into. And so at all times I'm responsible to ushering forth that grace of a higher love and impart it to all aspects of life around me. For the residue of my energy and of my resonance, of my frequency will be imparted to the more simple energies that are in my peripheral. And those more simple energies will adopt the language that I teach them. They don't know anything else. So if you teach them baser resonances, they're going to come at you, and they're going to come to you, and in your psyche and in your soul, you're going to feel you're not worthy, you're not good enough, you're small, all these things are often languages that the individual had previously broadcasted on a previous time. It needs to be redeemed. And so when energies are broadcasting a baser resonances, and you begin to cultivate and channel forth that higher song and higher light, well then the next person to drink from this glass will have a great illuminating experience, because you left the residue, the light, you've taught it to broadcast, to vibrate in a higher love resonance. That's eternal nature, that is the place where the impossible happens. And so as angels that are sovereign, that are free in this space, we are so powerful, but powerful in our intimacy. To the degree that we stand in our intimacy and broadcast, we have the ability to change things both in our space and our tier, and realign the configuration of energies in the worlds above. As above, so below, and as below, so above. And our representatives of all the dimensions, all the worlds, are all scattered amongst us. And this is the place where we bring it all back together again. And so the light worker understands the great responsibility that they enter into within a free will construct, the potential to be sovereign, and in that sovereignty to choose the higher love, and the repercussions, the reverberations of that music in a beautiful symphony of a true love story. Great embrace and a great reunion of oneness in all sorts.